Back at the book segment tonight, partying at Brown University, the highly regarded Ivy League school in Rhode Island, charges each student $100 for a student government fee. Where does that money go? Well, some of it went for a, quote, sex power god party sponsored by the school's Queer Alliance group. The bash quickly got out of control, and the university newspaper reported that a good number of students required emergency medical services. This now, Factor producer Jesse Waters, who attended the event. I should have said at the beginning of this report, it's not for kids, so either turn the thing off, the kids are there, or chuck them out of the room. All right, you go up to Brown University, prestigious university, $40,000 a year tuition, okay? In addition to the $100 they get from every kid to pay for their government services. This party was held on a campus building, right?
Held at a very old historic building called Sales Hall. Very prestigious building, very ornate, and it has a lot of history to it. I got a ticket from the internet. The tickets had sold out. It was a very popular party.
How much?
I think they were retailing for about 10 or 20, but I paid about 80 for it.
80?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I met this kid, got the ticket, got in, and the first thing I saw was just pure debauchery. Girls were falling down drunk all over the place. Most of the girls were wearing just panties, just bras.
Okay, now don't get too far ahead of yourself now. How many people were there in the place?
Probably about 200 or 300.
200 or 300, okay. So they're there, they're partying in skimpy outfits, but there wasn't any alcohol, I understand, sold at the party, correct?
None sold at the party, but it was quite obvious that all the students were very inebriated before they entered
I wouldn't
the
say
place.
all, that would be probably inaccurate, but many were intoxicated, because we know that, because a lot of them had to go to the hospital, correct?
Yeah, it turned out that it was a record amount of people that had to have emergency medical care. This had never happened at the school before to this extent, and the university actually had to send an email to all of the students afterwards saying, we need to reevaluate these kind of private parties.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, look, we don't care about it. If kids want to go crazy and do this stuff on their own, I mean, they're almost adults. But Brown having it on campus. Now, the organization is a gay activist organization. Was it mostly gay?
I think the core group that hosted the event was gay, but that kind of set the tone for the rest of the party. A majority of the people that attended were heterosexual, and that kind of carried over. People kind of just got out of control. I went down to the bathroom, was in a stall. I heard people having sex in the stall next to me. I did observe people having sex behind where the DJ was playing. There was guys kissing guys, girls making out with girls. There was, you know...
All right, so it was just total...
It was the wildest party I'd ever been to.
Wow. It's hard for me to put that in perspective. Again, we don't care, and I want to make this very, very clear, what these kids do in their personal lives. Don't care, okay? But if the school's going to charge people $100 and put that into a big fund, and then use some of that money in a school building to have this kind of stuff, and then have all these kids get hurt, because a lot of them were taking ecstasy and those kinds of drugs, which are dangerous drugs, then the school bears responsibility, and I think the chancellor has to answer for it.
Well, I don't think the chancellor is going to take that much action. It seems to be a pretty popular party. I think they are going to reevaluate some of their policies, but it's really hard to stop kids doing from what they do. I mean, if they're in college,
you can't do it, but you don't have to give them the hall and use student fee. I'm sure there are a lot of students that don't want their money to go to this.
Well, there's a small minority that objected to the party in the first place.
I bet you there's more than you think, but they just don't want to say it publicly because then they'd be considered uncool.
Well, that's true. I'm reading some of the blogs right now, and a lot of people are getting criticized for standing up for what's been happening.
Brown University needs to rethink that whole thing. And don't think you're getting reimbursed for the $80. Okay, ain't gonna happen.
It was worth it.
Yeah, I bet it was. All right, Jesse Waters. Next we'll